talk to you today about how I got started. I started off, working with Verizon. Well, actually, I started off as a temporary hire. At the time, it was GTE, now, which everybody knows as Verizon. I worked there for a whole year, not knowing whether I was going to have a job or not. And during the time, when I was working, basically, I had some of my friends, coworkers, lose their positions. So I was not sure, if I had a position, going forward. But eventually, with some hard work and dedication, I was able to, get hired out with GTE. Once I got hired on GTE, I saw some of the working conditions that they were under, some of my coworkers, and I was curious to know what kind of stance or positions as an employee we would have. So I got invited by one of my coworkers to go to a union meeting. I went to a union meeting, and I saw what the union was about. I came from a family where nobody in my household was ever involved in any kind of union, so I had no clue, what that possibly could be. So once I got involved with the union, then I got asked to become a steward, and so I volunteered. I went ahead and signed up to become a steward. I started getting educated on, state laws, collective bargaining, kind of know what my workers' rights as a worker were. And as time went on, I learned a lot, and eventually I moved up in, my union, which is Communication Workers of America. And what I then did is I actually took responsibility for one of my call centers. And one of my call centers is what we call, it's a Spanish call center, and has a variety of different nationalities, such as Mexican, Puerto Rican, Cubano, you name it. And one of the things that I learned right off the bat when they started, working there in the call center was they're very quiet, very humble people, and a lot of times when management wanted to force them to work overtime or to do things that they weren't sure about, they just went ahead and did it, because one of the things that they did was they just worked in fear, and not knowing that, when you belong to a labor union, that there is collective bargaining, there is also state rights that protect you. And they didn't know this. So it's taken a while, but I will say now that they are some of our strongest advocates that support the union. In our last contract negotiations in 2010, they were out there on the picket line because they learned over the time span of the years that I've worked with them, and I explained to them it's okay to stand up, for your rights. It's okay, to some days where, you need to take care of things for your family, to be there for your family. If somebody's sick in the hospital, you need to go and see them, make sure they're okay. To go to doctor's appointments where they're always afraid to do things like that in the past. So I think this is a great thing. I think that you really need to understand that, the union has taught us a lot, and going forward, it's going to help, build us and be stronger, because we all have to stick together, because we are the underdog. And I think that you really, really must stand up for your rights. Thank you.